Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the November 16th meeting of the Revere City Council Zoning Subcommittee. This evening, we have one matter before us, a petition from David Masse, 25 Renee Drive, Wakefield, Mass. 01880, seeking permission from the City Council to construct 4 townhouse units on Parcel 1-8 on Lamson Street. Tonight, the subcommittee consists tonight of Councilor Janino, who's here. Councilor Gunasso, who's here. Councilor Zambuto, who's here as well. We also have Councilor Patch, Councilor Morabito, Councilor Janino, and Councilor McKenna. And Councilor Hass is outside. So, Council, state your name, please, and your address.
Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee, Joseph Catogio, 1 Spring Street, Revere, representing the applicant, seeking a special permit for the, is it on? Oh, okay. Seeking a special permit for the construction of 4 townhouses, 2 separate structures on Marble Street in Revere. We've made an initial proposal to the council prior to it being sent to this subcommittee. We presented the information on the construction on a 17,000 plus square foot lot. The application meets all of the zoning requirements, and the placement of the structures, you'll note, is done so to have as much open space in the front, which faces the residential neighborhood, and as much put to the back towards the Route 1 area of the lot as possible, which includes the parking, which has been placed on the side, so nothing is in front. We have been through site plan review. They have submitted a list of requirements or requests of this applicant. We are willing to comply with each and every one of those requirements. Obviously, we will continue to work with the building department and other departments of the city during the construction period. So we are looking for approval tonight, a positive recommendation to the council from the subcommittee, and here to hopefully answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from the council? Councilor Patch?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for letting me speak. I don't think I'm on the zoning. But anyways, as I said at the public hearing, that this is a much better plan than that we turned down. We're going to turn down, but they withdrew before we could turn it down. When they want to do 7, I forget what it was, 7, 11, or whatever townhouses. As people know, it's by right they have a right to build 2 family houses there, and basically 2 townhouses or 4 townhouses is exactly the same thing. So, but the word townhouse needs a special permit, just to explain to the people out there that why it's here. The only question that I had. I've only had 1 call on it, and it was about the water hookup, and I just want to state it here for record that it's actually it's just going to be I believe it's just going to be hooked up to where the water, because there is a little problem with pressure on that street for water pressure. The hookup will be the same place where the construction company hookup is?
Yes, that's correct.
That's correct. So I don't see any problem with that. And I just I feel that this would be the best for the neighborhood. And like I say, I've had no real complaints about or any calls, negative calls on this. So I'd be voting in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Patch. Councilor Gunasso?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, the word of the ward council is very important on the neighborhood issues in reference to something like this. And it's only 2 buildings, 2 structures, 2 townhouses, 4 units. And as the council has noted, during the public hearing, there wasn't any opposition from the area residents. And subsequent to that, Councilor Patch assures us all that there isn't any objection. There was one concern that I think that's been alleviated. And certainly this is going to be, it's going to clean off nicely Lamson Street once and for all, and people will get, they'll get it behind them, what the future holds for them. So that takes that mystery away from them, which gives them some sense of release. So I'll be voting favorably for this evening, Mr. Chairman, and I urge my colleagues on the subcommittee to do so also.
Thank you, Councilor. It's probably a good point at this point to put into the record the Site Plan Review Committee's recommendations, which I understand the petitioner has agreed to comply with, and that is, number 1, that the proposed driveway shall be 20 feet in length and width, 20 feet in width. Number 2, that the landscaping plan shall be approved by the Site Plan Review Committee and include the planting of at least 6 trees. Along the frontage of Lamson Street, a landscape buffer zone shall be provided along the northerly property line in accordance with a landscaping plan to be approved by the Site Plan Review Committee in accordance with the section 17.24.010 of our municipal code. At least 30% of the site shall be comprised of open space. All landscaped and open space areas shall be irrigated and shall be maintained by the owner of the property. 3, a 20-foot wide sewer easement shall be maintained on the site and shown on the plan with no encroachments to be allowed within the easement area. 4, the water and sewer drainage infrastructure servicing the property shall be approved by the city engineer, and the applicant shall undertake on-site and off-site infrastructure improvements as required by the city engineer, DPW superintendent, and fire chief. 5, all curbing within the site shall be granite or concrete, and all walkways and sidewalks shall be concrete. 6, 40% of the front yard shall be open space and shall be no parking allowed within the front yard of each unit except where there is a garage under. And 7, the project proponent must pay a sewer mitigation fee, which is based on 10 times 110 gallons per bedroom times $1.30 a gallon. So those are the site plan review recommendations, and I would suggest that they will be included in the recommendation. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Certainly.
Thank you. Obviously, I'm in favor of this, but I want to say, for the record, the neighbors won here. If you remember, we had a proposal up here before us that had a much bigger development plan for that parcel, and there was a lot of opposition to it. And now we're here with a new owner and a new proposal that fits the neighborhood and is good for everybody involved. So I just want to say that it's not always that the neighbors get turned down. There are compromises made, and a lot of times they have really good input, and it's listened to, and that's what happened in this case. So I'm obviously supporting the ward councilor who's in favor of this, but I'm certainly in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Zambudo. Is anyone else in the audience care to speak on this matter? The only thing I can say is I agree that this is a very reasonable compromise to the original proposal, which was considerably more dense, and this is a proposal that leaves considerable more open space. I think is considerably more in character with the neighborhood as it now is, at least the residential portion of it. Will eliminate what is really a rather unsightly existing metal building and improve the parcel quite significantly. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Motion to
I
approve.
didn't even get finished yet. Report this out favorably to the full city council. All on the committee, subcommittee in favor? Very well, thank you. So council, this will be reported out to the full city council in a matter of, well, maybe about 25 minutes or so, and with the recommendation that it be approved by the zoning subcommittee. Thank you. That being the only matter before us tonight, is that correct, Madam Clerk? Then this meeting will be adjourned until we have something else to do. Thank you.